$2,000 stimulus check for adults, $2,400 for married couples, and $600 for children. That is what the president has demanded for the second stimulus check and the second stimulus package. But the nuances of how you get from point A to point B are very confusing. A veto is not so likely. A pocket veto is not so likely. An overriding of a veto is likely. An amendment to a bill, to an amendment to another bill, a forced vote of the House, a forced vote of the Senate. What is all this stuff? It's literally so confusing. It makes your hair stand up, sort of like you just went to a San Francisco hairstylist. I was so confused about it, I had to go to Sir Lloyd and ask his opinion about it. Sir Lloyd, what do you think about all this craziness for what's going on? He says, did you get your stimulus? I'm like, no, we did not get our stimulus. But you were supposed to get stimulus in this as well. Farmers and cows, remember there was money in there for farmers and cows? You're not getting this either. I'm not getting my stimulus. This is outrageous. I have to have my stimulus. I have to buy the Cowalac, another Cowalac, then park in front of Nancy's house and get some $12 ice cream. Wow, how is this happening? It's happening because millions of Americans are wondering why everything has gone screwy faster than anyone could say $12 ice cream. This is the breaking developments across the board. There's so much breaking minutes ago as the president vetoed something else which has an implication to your second stimulus. I'm here, you're here, but where's the president? He's leaving town. This is Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm so excited for you to join me on a day in which there's so much money at stake and there's so much money available for stakes in other countries, but Nancy hasn't taken that provision out of the bill as well yet either. In a day in which the set is collapsing, people think there's an earthquake, the camera's upside down, everything's going screwy, but I'm so glad you joined me on the day before Christmas. Thank you for joining me on Afternoons LALATE. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do, because throughout the scope of the recording over today and tomorrow, you're going to see rushed recordings, tape recordings, live recordings, because Nancy Pelosi is going to do what's called a pro forma, a pro something amateurish vote tomorrow in the House to urge to get a unanimous bill vote on an amendment to the second stimulus package, and that will force the Senate back in session. The net result of this is I will be taping tomorrow. So please subscribe, because I think what's going to happen between today and Christmas Day maybe have more impact on your second stimulus check than anything in the last 7 months. So please subscribe. Also like this video. If I look a little ramped up, I am, because I'm a little confused about all the nuances, and it's becoming a lot of civics classes turned stimulus. In this recording, I'm going to go over why the president cannot veto the current bill. Then I'm going to cannot effectuate a finalized veto of the current bill. I'll go over what's happening with the new bill, the amended bill. I'll be going over what's happening with a pocket veto. Then I'll be turning to really, are you going to see anything before December 31st? And how about all those things are expiring? There's all those things expiring, and there's so much developing across the board. Meantime, 15 minutes after this recording, I will be back with another massive tape recording, which is called Purple, as one state announces a massive stimulus package minutes ago. Yes, that's our state stimulus show. Then after that, I will be back with third stimulus, the new Biden stimulus show on this channel that goes over what's happened in January, the $2,400 SSI and SSDI, the rent stimulus, the remainder of your EIDL $10,000 grant. That is the third stimulus show. And finally, I'll be back with Bean and Mitch, my live afternoon show that answers your questions and more. With that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news, as you sit here today, is that there is no deal. The current bill, which I'm going to refer to as the second stimulus package and second stimulus bill that you heard me talk about since Saturday to today, is ostensibly going to be dead. That it did not have to be dead by Nancy and Chuck and Mitch's choice that they have decided to make it dead. Let me explain to you why. This is a little confusing. The president yesterday detailed 4 things that he wants amended from the bill. But Nancy and Chuck and Mitch did not have to agree to that. Why? Because the House and Senate had enough votes in favor of the bill that even if the president does eventually veto the bill, he has not yet, or pocket vetoes the bill, which means he doesn't do anything with it and it automatically vetoes, they could have they could have overridden the veto because they had enough votes. What does this mean? The way it works is that if Congress votes enough in favor of a bill the first time around, that if the president then vetoes it, they can come back and override the veto. So they don't have to do anything, Nancy, Chuck, and Mitch. They can just let the veto occur and then override the veto, and then you have a $600 stimulus check. But they're instead doing an amendment. So how are they doing the amendment? This is a little complicated. Let me go very slowly on this. Nancy is going to amend the bill and take out the $600 for adults and married couple and make it $2,000 for single individual and $4,000 for married couple. The children will stay $600. Everything else will stay the same in the bill. Everything else. More about that in a second, though. And with that, she's going to call the bill for a vote on Christmas Eve tomorrow and hope to get a unanimous vote in the House of Representatives. That unanimous vote by law forces the Senate to vote on it promptly. The Senate cannot avoid to vote on the bill. This is something that Nancy has dealt with over the last few months, where she does something and Mitch doesn't take care of it. Here it would force Mitch to have the Senate vote on the bill if she gets a unanimous vote tomorrow. Will she? I don't know. I really don't know if she can get a unanimous vote. It only takes one Republican House member to show up and vote against it to block that unanimous vote. Okay, so then it goes to the Senate. Then what? Don't really know. It is too hard for me to sit here and predict what's going to happen with the Senate. I presume the Senate's not going to like it. I presume the Senate's not going to want to pass a $2,000 stimulus check. I presume there's going to be big problems. So if there is big problems, then what? A lot of permutations. There's a lot of permutations in place. But there you go where we are right now. Now let's go back to that amendment. The president had called for 4 things to be amended in the bill, not 1. He wanted the $2,000 stimulus check to be the first amendment. The second one is he wanted the foreign countries taken out of the bill. Approximately $8, $9, $10 billion for foreign countries. He wants that out of the bill. Third, he wants the money for structures out of the bill, like the Kennedy Center. And fourth, he wants a provision that says if you're married to an undocumented citizen, this thing was stimulus checks. That was the fourth thing he wanted out of the bill, whether it is or isn't in the bill. Nancy Pelosi, of the 4 things, is only going to do the stimulus check, we have been told so far. So would the president still dislike it? Certainly. Would Americans still like it? Yes. But Americans can certainly digest the fact that they're giving money to foreign countries if you're giving us a decent stimulus check of $2,000. So am I going to get a stimulus check? When am I going to get a stimulus check? How would I get a stimulus check, and what's going on? At the moment you sit here right now, the senators want to give you a stimulus check. The Democrats in the House want to give you a stimulus check. But there are still those outlining senators who are Republicans in the Senate that don't want to give you a stimulus check. And it's unclear whether they can implode this, and we won't know the answer until potentially around the 26th, 27th. And we may not see this till Monday or Tuesday. Minutes ago, the president vetoed the defense bill, which had massive support from the most stringent GOP leaders in the Senate. And so now they are setting up to override that veto on Monday. On Monday and Tuesday next week, they're going to do a lot of overriding of veto things. So, is $2,000 still in play? Yes. Is $2,000 the only number in play? Yes. $600 is thrown away. We are no longer talking about $600. How about $1,200? Is that thrown away? It is thrown away. The only number is $2,000, and everything around the $2,000. Has anything else been changed? No. So it'd still be taken out for child support. It would not be taken out for debt collections. There's no stimulus check for adult dependents. The family is still a family of 4, so it means a single mom with 3 kids, she would get $2,000, and the 3 kids would get $600, $600, $600. Husband and wife with 2 kids means $2,000, $2,000, $600, $600. And then everything else in the bill that is wrong or inaccurate would not be changed as well. Now, ultimately, you can go on social media and get the narrative out, fix these things, fix these things, fix these things. But will they get fixed? Hard to say. A lot of confusion for just determining whether you're getting a stimulus check. So when would you get the stimulus check? You know, it was, what was it, yesterday or the day before, that everyone started making videos. When am I getting my stimulus check now that it passed the Congress? Those videos are now irrelevant. Those videos are now irrelevant because there is no deal. There is no deal. There is no bill. There is no vote. The good news is that the amount is much more. 600 is gone, 2,000 is on play. The bad news is that there's more wait time. So I want you, if you did not hear my recordings yesterday, I said that what Steve Mnuchin talked about with routing times 24 hours ago was hogwash. It's simply untrue. So let me tell you what is true. What is true, it takes 10 days after it becomes law for the stimulus check to go out. When would it become law? I'm not going to answer that question. That requires the Senate to approve it, the House to approve it, and the President to sign it. When will the President sign it? He's out of town. He's heading to Florida. When is he coming back? I don't know. Is he coming back? I don't know. Will he sign it? I don't know. So I'm not going to sit here and say, you said a stimulus check the first week of January. Well, if the president signs the bill after it becomes law, after it is passed by act of Congress, the amended bill, if he does sign it, you would add 10 days from that day. So by all accounts, if he does do that, again, if he does do that, you would get your stimulus check about the first week of January. Not that bad. We're only getting delayed a couple of days. That's also really good. All right, so I know what you're asking. What about my UI? What about my PUA? What about my eviction moratorium? What about all those things? The good news is they really are not affected by this couple days of delay. Let me explain why. Your UI, PUA, and FPUC by, well, in this case, PEUC, which covers the UI, are set to expire on Sunday, the 27th. The law said, the CARES Act 1 said PEUC, FPUC, which expired in July, and PUA expires on December 27th. So the fact that this is being delayed a few days later means much of nothing because of the following issue. Let me explain where we are. A few days ago, I told you that Congress messed up. They waited too long to take care of you on this bill. And because they waited too long on taking care of this bill, that ultimately when you look at week 1 of January and you look at your bank account, you will not get a deposit in your bank on the first week of January or the second week of January for your unemployment benefits. Why? Because it takes a while to get the money from the federal government to the state for the states to pay you that first or second week of unemployment benefits. I told you that even on the belief that we were going to get this passed by Congress and the president signed it a few days ago. Now the fact that it's getting delayed an additional day or more is no different than the severity of the situation that we had a few days earlier. What's important to understand is I'm separating the issue from coverage, activity, at being active, whether you're having your claim still active versus actually getting money. Let me explain that very slowly. If your UI, PUA, FPUC is set to lapse on Sunday or has already lapsed, you've gone from active to inactive, don't worry. Do not worry, because when this becomes law, it will go back to active. So the fact that it's not law today makes no difference whether it's law next week or the week after. It will become law and will put you back to active status. My concern for you is not that issue. My concern for you is getting money in your pocket that week in which you need money. So you will not likely get a check in your bank account for the week of unemployment of the first week of January because of this delay. The delay could also carry you into the second week of January. So you're going to see weeks of delays for unemployment benefits in your account because of this delay with Congress getting into it and now this delay with Trump. I'm still getting questions about other things, which are great questions. Are anything else going to set up for trouble? Well, the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance that were created by President Donald Trump by executive order, those are set to expire in the next few days. Those will expire if nothing is done by Congress. Now, I fully expect that states will step in on a lot of these things. You've been hearing me say this for weeks. Minutes ago, Andrew Cuomo, Democrat, governor of New York, stepped in and said, you know what? I don't like what's going on with Congress. I'm extending the state of New York's eviction moratorium to protect you. I expect other states to do that as well. Some states have eviction moratoriums, some don't. Some have it by county, and I expect them to do it in some cities and states. I also expect some states to extend your UI and PUA benefits so you do not lapse. Some states have, like Hawaii, Illinois as well. Then how about other things like SBA money? Is the SBA money going to disappear in the next few days because of this? No. So far, that's good news. So if you are an EIDL loan applicant, you're waiting for that money to come, it will be coming to you. So how about all these other items in the second stimulus package? Are they are they up for revision? Ultimately, if you want to get on social media and get the message out, everything is up for revision. Everything is up for negotiations. But it doesn't look like they want to talk about anything else. This is very rushed. They're trying to do this, the House members, between now and Christmas Eve, doing an emergency Christmas Eve session and then flying out of town on the last plane, presumably a private jet. So I don't expect them to do a lot of work for other things for you. The Senate, I don't know what's going to happen next with the Senate. Finally, I know what you're going to ask me. What do I think is going to happen? I really don't know. There's too many things here for me to just sort of predict from A to B and C. So it's hard for me to say that this is going to happen and hence this is going to happen. I think that Nancy setting something up for a unanimous vote in the Senate in the House to force a Senate vote is a good idea. I like that. It forces the Senate to actually work on this. We've had many times over the year where one person got COVID in the Senate and they shut it down for 2 weeks. Remember that? And they said they didn't work on your stimulus bill because of one guy, but then worked on the Treasury. So I think that's a great thing that she's doing, that she's forcing them to work on it. I think it's a good thing. I don't like that she's not taking out the foreign governments. I think that's going to cause a rift with this president. And then there's a really big issue, which all the news reports are covering, and I don't really want to go too much into it because it's too confusing, of whether the president will never sign a stimulus package because he just doesn't want to, that this has some sort of ulterior thing at issue. And that could be very much at play. There is the potential that Trump may never sign anything. And ultimately, that is your determination to make. It's not mine. I don't have an opinion about it. Finally, when I looked at the voting before in the Senate 3 days ago, the votes were overwhelmingly in favor of this bill at $600 stimulus check. So the move to a $2,000 stimulus check, how dramatically different will it be? It may not be that dramatically different because the people who are opposed to $600 will be the same people opposed to $2,000. I don't think you potentially may pick up any new bad people fighting you on the $2,000 stimulus check because they were already fighting you on the $600 stimulus check. So if that's good news, that might suggest to you there's still enough to override a veto. Remember, to override a veto, you need a strong majority. You do not need a unanimous vote. Currently, we are set up for an override of the veto. There's so much happening, and I'm glad that you're joining me on the live chats, because the live chats are for me to understand what you don't understand. It's also to help me understand what I need to get up to date. It's not usual that I would be covering pocket vetoes and normal vetoes and how many you need to override a veto. It's not normally in the subject of something like this. But with this is high drama. You have never seen drama like this. And trust me, we have a lot more to come. The next few days are going to have a lot of drama. I will be taping on Christmas Eve. I will be taping on Christmas Day. So stay with me because you're expecting massive drama across the board. Coming up next is Purple. There are big developments across the board for state stimuluses more. And I'll be going over the impact of second stimulus, the bill we're talking about right here, on your state stimulus. It's a very big development. It's very, very important you watch that video. And then coming up after that is our new show, Third Stimulus, which goes over Biden's stimulus, which I know it may not be the focus of your mindset right now, but it's important to understand what is next up. Because those items of next up, people keep on wondering, is it in second stimulus? No, it's a third stimulus. Catch that video, and then I'm back with Being a Mitch. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and save my life for more.